Chapter 1 begins at the end of the 5-day vacation. Jared Rose is standing in the middle of the terminal at DFW Airport back in Dallas, and what he has just gone through he never saw coming in a million years. So either by habit or by instinct, he reaches into his pocket, flips open his cell phone, punches the speed dial, and on the other side of town, a very distinctive ring vibrates in the lab coat pocket of Dr. Evie Maxwell, Jared's best friend. Evie is at work at the hospital, and she's talking to a colleague when her phone begins to vibrate in her pocket, and right away she knows it's Jared. She snatches the phone out of her pocket and walks away from the colleague as if he had never been there and they had never had been having a conversation at all. So she's talking with Jared, and they have a little banter for a couple of minutes, and in the midst of this, Jared asks to get together with her later, and of course Evie is all for that. She offers to take him out to dinner, and Jared vetoes that, and they agree to meet within the hour back at Evie's home. So at the end of the phone call, of course, Evie is playing this conversation back in her head, and she being like most best friends, she can sense that something wasn't quite right with her friend Jared. And of course, she goes back to the two previous times when this same situation had kind of introduced itself to her, and she knew she was in for another healing session with her best friend. So, as I said, within the hour, Jared shows up at her front door. She opens the door, and right away she can see the shock and dismay on Jared's face. A lot of my readers ask me why I started the story right there at the end of the vacation. They said, well, you kind of told us how the story ends. And, well, though that may be true, this is not a story where I'm trying to present a surprise ending. This is a story that's like a tornado. I once heard a comedian joke once saying about a tornado, it's not that the wind blows that makes the tornado dangerous. It's what the wind blows. And that's what this story is like. We knew from the very beginning how this story was going to end, but how it transpires, how the layers of the onion are peeled back, and the entire process of how Jared got to where he is right now in front of his friend Evie, telling her what actually happened during the past 5 days. That's the essence of the story. So, here in chapter 1, we learn a lot about Jared's and Evie's relationship, about their friendship, how it developed, what they've gone through, and where they are now, which is literally at Evie's front door, where Evie is pulling Jared inside to bring him back to the real world.